Shabbat Shalom, Mishpaka. How are you doing? And I hope you're adequately preparing for the Shabbat. I'm very, very happy for having this opportunity to come before you once again. It's been a very, 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 very hectic week or month, but Adonai is in control. And that's why I've not been able to release any video for some time, for some months now. And today I'm resuming. Bezeret Hashem. I'll try to be releasing videos at least twice a month so that we can be able to grow in the knowledge and in the word of the Most High. There's a video I did, why the Jews don't believe in Jesus. And I want to do the continuation. I said I was going to continue it, but one thing or the other comes up, and then any revelation or any information I've been given to pass across, it takes prerogative ahead of any other maybe project I'm working on. Now, please, I want to let you know that this series of why the Jews don't believe in Jesus is designed specifically for Jews, or for those with Jewish souls. It's not for Gentiles. It is not a means to try to convert a Gentile into Judaism. That I want to get it clear, because it is not possible. There's nothing like conversion. You cannot convert a Gentile to start obeying the Torah, or make a Gentile obey the Torah, because the Torah is not even in the DNA, in his or her DNA. So he or she will find it very, very difficult and will find excuses. This is meant for those that have got Jewish souls, that need some sort of guidance and direction, that have plagued with different forms of doubts due to the misconceptions, mistranslations of the scriptures, and so on. It's specifically for those that have got Jewish souls. Why do I say this? It's written somewhere that when the Most High, the Almighty, presented the Torah, He presented it first to other nations. One of the Jewish missionary literature. And when he presented it to them, they said no, that the rules and laws are difficult, that they prefer to continue serving the deities they serve. All the nations rejected the Torah. Then the last nation, he said he was going to create out of Abraham Avinu, meaning Abraham, my father, our forefather. He said, I know him because he's going to teach his descendants to obey me and to walk in my ways. He said that's when he said to create the Jewish nation. Through Abraham, a people that will serve him. Since all others didn't want to serve him, they rejected the Torah because they want to continue in their old ways. And what happened? True to what Adonai saw, when he created Abraham, and Abraham started teaching according to the Torah. He started teaching his servants the Torah. Every single person in his household, he started teaching them the Torah. And when Isaac was born, he started teaching Isaac too, the Torah. And you can see so on and so forth. Isaac also went ahead, he taught his Esau and Jacob, and Jacob taught his children, and so on and so forth. Esau was the one that didn't have a Jewish soul, and Esau did not follow the Torah. Now, what am I saying here? Finally, after the children of Yasharul was brought from Mitzrayim, that's Egypt, to the wilderness, and Hashem now gave them the Torah, said he was going to give them the Torah. Without even reading the contents or without seeing it, is there in the Torah. They said, we will obey and we will do. We will hear and we will do. They did not question it, they accepted the Torah unquestionably because they had the DNA of the Most High in them. You cannot do something that you don't have the capacity to do. For example, now, if you hate washing dishes, and let's say go and wash dishes. Yes, you can wash the dishes, but because you hate washing dishes, you'll find it a very great burden to go and wash dishes. That's what I'm saying. If the Torah says, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt do not remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy. Is it difficult? Is it gonna kill you? Is it gonna break your skin to obey the Torah? No. You're not gonna break a leg when you're obeying the Torah. Well, because it's not in your DNA, you're going to find it totally difficult and prefer to continue with your lifestyle or with the religion you're practicing. But it's not that you do not have the ability to do it. Now, if you are going to have to do it, you have to really exercise extreme strength and willpower and love of the Creator to be able to do the Torah against all odds and against the norms that are around you, against what people around you are practicing. I want to tell you that Adonai is good and his mercies endures forever. He never changes. And his Torah is emet. He has created giving us this Torah. Not because he just wants to give us rules and regulations, because he's the Most High Creator. No. He gave us the Torah for our protection, for our own good. He gave us the Torah so that we can live a long and a fruitful life and a beautiful life. He gave us the Torah so that we can enjoy this earth He's created us to enjoy. He's created for humans to enjoy. That's it. But, just like I said, if you don't have a Jewish soul, you're not going to see it that way. You're going to see it as a burden. And that's why I want to clarify things first before I go further. That this is for, there are people it's actually meant for, and those that it is meant for is going to actually help them in their journey towards the search of the Creator and the worship of the Most High, towards being a Torah keeper. Let me tell you something. When I say Jew, or when people say Jew, you should know that it's not all Jews that are Torah observant. That's why I prefer to say I'm a Torah observer, to make that distinction. Jew is just a general word or terminology, but not all Jews are Torah observant. So that's what I'm going to use for the purpose of this teaching. Torah observer. Are you a Torah observer? Do you follow the words of your Heavenly Father of your Father in the Shammai without any bias? Without any what did he call it? Shame. Do you follow his words? Do you love the Torah? Do you love his commands? Do you love to keep his commands? If you love to keep his commands, then you're truly his child. And this teaching is for you. Let's continue. Now, the mission of the Jewish people. Introduction. I'm reading from the book. 25 reasons or 26 reasons why the Jews don't believe in Jesus. Okay. He said this book is designed to explain to Jews why Christianity is not an appropriate spiritual path for the Jewish soul. It is also designed to give Jews who have not been exposed to Torah, that's Orthodox Judaism, a glimpse of its intellectual, emotional, and spiritual profundity. Judaism is the only religion that started with a natural revelation by Elohim to an entire nation at Mount Sinai. In addition, Elohim gave the Jewish people the Torah, which contains 613 detailed instructions for living an ethical and holy life. Elohim also gave the Jewish people a mission that is crucial for the spirituality of the world. When a Jew becomes a Christian, he separates himself from the Jewish people, from the Torah, and from the divine mission of the Jewish people. What is the mission of a Jewish person, of a Jewish soul? It's to enforce the Torah here on earth. We are Hashem's representative. We are here to show as a light, to show people the way to salvation. You cannot find salvation in any other way except by obeying the words of your Creator. It is written, if you go and read the 10 Commandments in Shemos, read it carefully and read the whole of Leviticus and Numbers, Bed-Neba. You will see that the consequences for disobeying the Torah is death. The penalty is death. Okay, now, unfortunately, if you read it in your English version, you cannot see or understand what I'm saying because it's sounding different. It's like it's not written there. Now, if you read it in Hebrew, it's a different story altogether. I was shocked when I read the Hebrew version of the 10 Commandments to find out that breaking any of them, the consequences is removal of that person's name from the book of life. Now, you using your English Bible, I don't know if you see it there like that. It may be there, but in a coded form, in a way that is not so obvious. It really put the fear of the Almighty in me. I think in the English Bible, it's only written, honor your father and your mother. Which commandment is that? I think the 6th commandment. No, 6th commandment, thou shalt not kill. It is that honor your father and your mother, that you may live long on the earth, and that soul may be prosperous. That it will subtly put that, now if they say so that you will live long on earth, it means if a person does not honor his parents, the person will not have a long life. That's death. Now, the first one says, you should know, hear, O Israel, Adonai Elohim, Adonai Echad, that He's one and only, and there's no other one but He. And you should love Adonai Elohim with all your heart also. You shall have no other graven image. Now, if you read the Hebrew version, you're going to be trembling from head to toe. The consequences of breaking any one of the commandments, including keeping and remembering and keeping the Shabbat day from desecration. Desecrating the Shabbat day, ignorantly or not, is death. And what is death? It's the removal, according to what I read in Hebrew, the removal of the name of that person from the book of life to damnation. That is it not a fearful thing to fall into the hands of our Creator? Now, it's written like that in the Torah. And then another new book called the New Testament is coming to tell you, and a person is coming from the New Testament is coming to tell you, no, if you follow the Torah, you are going to die. You should break the Torah. A human being, a created being. Come on, Mishpaka. Who are you going to believe? The King of the world, the Melech, the King of kings and the Lord of lords, or someone that is claiming to be his messenger? Now, I want to ask you something. If you've got a staff working for you, and you gave instructions on what they should do, and you travel, you handed over the running of your organization or establishment to the staff, and the person does everything contrary to your instruction, saying, hey, that the school is old news now. Our employer is old news now. I am the real deal. I am a modern staff. I'm a modern person. I cannot follow what the employer is saying is outdated. Just like the New Testament says that the law is outdated. And then the person comes and says, remember that this is your employee. That is how it is. When you listen to the voice of any other prophet, be it St. Paul, be it Jesus Christ, or any other prophet that tells you that what your Creator gave to you is outdated and you should follow the new thing now. That's exactly what it is. Then your staff says, no, I'm the representative. After all, the employer put me in charge of this organization, so I give my new rules. And my new rules abide because I will stay because I represent my employer. The same thing with Jesus Christ. He said he's the Son of God. He has come to replace God and then to change, what did they call it? Change the Torah or change the instructions that he had given. Come on. Do you remember the story of the old prophets and the new prophets? In the book, or somewhere in the Old Testament. Yeah, the prophet was told by the Most High to go and give a prophecy to a king for his wicked deeds. And Adonai told the prophet, well, after giving that prophecy, don't sleep in that town or city. Do not go back by the same road you came into the city by. Don't eat there. Go back to another route and go back to your home. And then the prophet agreed. And he went to the king. He gave the information, the prophecy. The king said, wait, let me serve you something to eat before you start your journey. He said, no, Because thus says Adonai, he said, that I should not go back the same route that I have gone, neither shall I eat in this town. And he started going. Now, when he was giving the king that prophecy, the son of the old prophet that was there ran to tell his father, who is an old prophet meaning that he is no more being used by Adonai. Went to tell him that, hey, there's this young prophet that came and gave a prophecy to the king, and the king wanted to entertain him, and he said no, that the Almighty said he should not eat anything or drink anything in this place, and he's going now. And then the father, that old prophet, asked the son, which direction did he go to? And he said, this is this direction. And he now went, ran after the new prophet, and then he went and said, hey, what did he? He caught him sitting under the tree, resting. That's where he caught him. If he had gone the way Adonai has instructed him, would have gone. Now what happened? The old prophet said, come to my house, come and eat and drink. Come, eat and drink. Let me entertain you. The prophet replied to him, the new prophet replied to the old prophet, no, Adonai said that I should not eat in this town or drink in this town. And even the routes that I had used in going back, coming in here, I should not use the same route to go back. Then what did the old prophet say? He didn't use the word of Adonai. He now used, no. An angel just appeared to me and said to me to come and tell you to come and eat in my house and drink in my house and rest. After that, you can continue your journey. Now, what did he do? The new prophet followed the old prophet, because remember that this old prophet was a respected person. Followed him to his house to wine and dine. Now, look at the differences. The new prophet was spoken to by the Creator, by the Most High. The old prophet claimed an angel spoke to him. Instead of the new prophets to say, no, an angel spoke to you, but the Creator spoke to me. I will obey the Creator and stick to his commands. I am not going back with you. He followed him. Now, an angel, remember, is a messenger of the Most High. And he suffered the consequences. So that's why I'm asking you, are you going to obey the messenger? Or you're going to obey your Creator? Remember, whatever choice you take, you're going to live by the consequences of that choice. And so the new prophet went to the old prophet's house. Why do we still eating? Now the spirit of the Most High came upon the old prophet, and he prophesied to that new prophet. The thus says Adonai, because you have disobeyed my word and gone back to eat and drink in this town and city, your body shall not reach your home. And then the old prophet discharged him and asked him to go. And while the new prophet was going, an animal came and devoured him. Look at that. The words of our Creator is written in black and white. That's in the Ten Commandments, in the Torah. Not the Ten Commandments is not only Torah. Torah comprises the first 5 books of the Old Testament. That's the Torah. Then after the Torah, we have the Ketuvim, that's the writings, and the Nebiim, the prophets. That's it. It's your choice. It's your choice to obey the words of the Creator or the words of a created being. Who are you going to choose? The Creator or the created being? Now, if you go by the words of a being that was created, remember that our Creator was not created. Before him, there is no other. He is the first, he is the last. He is Aleph, he is Tav, beginning and the end. And then someone he created is telling you to transgress his Torah. Think again. I pray that this Shabbat, as you observe it, that the Ruach of the Most High will rest upon you. Open your hearts and your mind to overstand all that you need to understand about Him. Increase His love, shalom in your life, and grant you a very beautiful and wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat. Shalom.